guys, and welcome to another episode of Vlogmas. It's just gonna be another kind of hangout with me today. I am working, it's a working day today, it's not a weekend or anything. But this morning I went to the gym, and I say went to the gym, I've got my home gym. So I just did another kind of full body workout, but focusing this time on deadlifts, overhead presses and single arm rows. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, I've got a dedicated fitness account on Instagram. So all my workouts I tend to pretty much post on there. That includes both lifting weights but also running as well. So if you're curious, you can go and follow me on there. But yeah, it was a pretty good session. I did 65 kilogram deadlifts for 4 reps, which for me that's actually quite good. It wasn't that long ago since that was my 1 rep max. So I'm getting there. It's just really slow, and it's hard in a deficit because obviously when you're in a calorie deficit, you're not going to be as fueled as maybe if you're in a massive surplus and just eating loads of food. So it's a bit of a challenge, but it's not impossible. So yeah, that's currently where I am right now in my weightlifting. But yeah, so I had breakfast, which is like the most depressing breakfast at the minute. It is like basically just chicken and half a bagel, just because I like bagels, but they are quite calorie dense. So what I'm having to do is still have my bagel, just have half at breakfast and then maybe half at lunch. So that's currently the plan. But my breakfast is a bit miserable, but the saving grace is the coffee that I have. I mentioned it in a previous Vlogmas, so I'm not going to go into detail, but if you know, you know, I love the bulk protein coffee. That tends to cheer me up. If I've got a depressing breakfast, then at least I've got a nice coffee to kind of counteract it. And then lunch and dinner can be nice. Like, it's only one meal that's a little bit depressing. Everything else I try and have like nice stuff, but it's mainly because I just want something quick so I could just have my breakfast, take my medication because I have to have it with food, and then just get ready for the day. So yeah, I had my breakfast, had my shower, got ready. You know, I look okay. Like, my skin is starting to get better. If you saw in previous videos that my skin is flaring at the minute, this is better. It's definitely not as tight as it was. It was really tight. So it's started to get a bit more elasticity back, which is really good. And it's not as stingy. Like before, it was really stinging, really painful. This is just, it doesn't, I don't feel it. It just looks a bit red and sore, but it doesn't actually feel sore. So that's positive. And I've still got it here. Again, it's kind of better, but still rubbish, you know. But it's slowly getting better. And it definitely seems that the azathioprine is doing a big job, not only for my Crohn's, just maintaining my Crohn's and keeping me in symptomatic remission, but also my skin. It's massively improved my skin just by going back up to what I was on before, based on, you know, I dropped down by 50 milligrams and it made such a difference, you know, like flaring to now. But anyway, I've been off the last couple of days, so I've got some emails to catch up on, but it shouldn't be too bad because I did glance at them over the last 2 days. Like, I didn't actively work, but I kind of just kept an eye on my emails because I just can't switch off. By having my emails as kind of like on in the background, not actually actively doing work, but just having it in the background made me feel better, that I could just glance at my emails, go, oh no, everything's fine. It's just really weird. So anyway, I kind of know what I'm going into in terms of my emails. Still quite a few to kind of go through and actually work through, but I feel confident that I'm not going to be overwhelmed this time. Usually when I come back from a few days off, I'm overwhelmed. I should not be overwhelmed today. That is the goal for today, is to not be overwhelmed on my day back after a few days. How sad is that? That was my laundry just beeping to tell me it's finished. Basically, I just didn't do any laundry over the weekend or my days off because, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't be bothered. But now I'm paying the price because I've got loads of washing to do. So while I've been working this morning, I've just had the washing machine on in the background. It is now 20 to 1, and I'm now going to just hang that up and then grab some lunch. I've got some chicken, like already cooked chicken. It's like a Cajun spiced chicken, which I'll do with like a salad. And then dinner tonight is gonna be like a fish pie thing, which I've had before. It's actually quite nice. It always looks gross, but I promise when I do my dinners, the presentation, rubbish, but the taste, And then I'm going to be doing potentially some artwork on my new iPad. My last Vlogmas episode was me unboxing my iPad, and I've been getting to grips with it. It's a little bit different to what I had a mini iPad like years ago. So it's obviously quite different to that. But I'm really happy with it. I'm really glad that I got it. I think I had about 4 John Lewis vouchers that I could use, and they added up to quite a big amount. So I managed to get quite a big chunk off the cost of an iPad Pro. So I'm really, really happy. And I got the iPad Pro and the pencil as well. But I unboxed it in my last Vlogmas episode. So if you want to have a look at that last video. I'm really, really happy. Like it's something that I've wanted for so long, and I've really like held off from buying it because it's so expensive. But the fact that I had all these vouchers saved up, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I'm so glad I've done it because it just gives me so much joy. It's just a really nice fast machine compared to my like MacBook, which I'm still going to use for video editing and stuff, although I can edit on my iPad Pro because it's a Pro and you can get Final Cut Pro for it. So I'm tempted. The only thing is there's a subscription with that. I don't really want to pay for it when I've got it for free on my MacBook. But my MacBook is slow, so it depends. If I'm getting really hacked off with how slow my MacBook is, then I might actually install it on my iPad and use that. But I don't know, we'll see. I mean, to be fair, there are free editors as well, don't you have to pay for. So I might just play around with some free ones and see how I get on. So I'm going to grab my lunch, and then I'll probably catch you after work where I can talk to you a little bit more, where I'm not so rushed. I feel like really rushed right now. So when I've finished work, that's when I'll actually talk to you properly. I'm just gonna get a drink, something hydrating, I think. I feel really like claggy. I don't know, that's the best way to describe it. Like, you know when you're really thirsty and you're like, that's kind of how I feel right now. So I'm gonna get a drink. It's actually something I've only recently started using, but it tastes really nice. It's a hydration drink that is actually, I bought it with the intention of using it before and after my runs. But sometimes when I feel like I just realised that I haven't drank enough, it's actually quite a nice pick-me-up to kind of rehydrate. But yeah, it's the Conte, I think that's how you pronounce it, Conte Sports. But it's the cherry flavour kind of hydration drink. Oh my god, it's so nice. So I basically just add 1 scoop to half a litre of water and just drink that, and it tastes nice and I feel way more like refreshed. Work is done. I can now chill for the evening, which is always nice. I am just about to make myself a cup of tea. I was going to get some biscuits and realised I ran out, which I'm really annoyed about. And it's too cold to go outside. Like, it's just really cold at the minute. And like, it's not even just like cold crispy, it's like cold rainy. So I'm thinking, no, I'll just sacrifice having biscuit. But what I've been doing is, because I don't have an advent calendar, just because I completely forgot. It's not because I don't want one, it's just I forgot to get one, and now we're in the 13th of December. So it's like I'm halfway there towards Christmas, and I feel like it'd be weird to now get an advent calendar and eat half of them straight away. So anyway, what I did do instead is get a box of Ferrero Rocher, and there was like 16 in there. And there was like, at the time of buying them, I think it was like 14 days left. So I have 2 extras that I'll probably have on Christmas Day. But yeah, I basically have a Ferrero Rocher each day. I'm having it in the evening as like dessert, but it means like by the time I finish my box, pretty much it'll be Christmas. So that's like my version of having an advent calendar. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But yeah, a little update. So my skin is still a little bit dodgy, but just not as bad as it was. So it does look like it's the azathioprine that's kind of managing that. Because basically, if you haven't been following me on Instagram or any of my other videos, I've been on azathioprine for 13 years for my Crohn's disease, and the last couple of years my skin has flared really badly. And I made a whole other video, I've got it linked in the description, but it just really struggled, and I've been put on a JAK inhibitor and oral steroids to try and manage the condition. And when I saw my IBD nurse maybe a couple of months ago now, he was looking at my blood test from a Crohn's perspective and was like, you probably don't need to be on this high dose of azathioprine, we'll reduce it. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, you're a professional, you must know what you're talking about. And within a few weeks, my skin flared again. And it's just so sore, so tight, so like burny. If you've ever had like severe eczema, you know what it's like. It's horrific. And it was so painful. And it was like, I was almost getting this like PTSD type feeling of like, oh my God, it's gonna go back to how it was again. And, you know, I'm getting married next year. So I was like starting to like freak out a little bit. But anyway, I ended up speaking to my dermatologist. I saw him in clinic and he was like, right, we'll up the azathioprine again. He wrote a letter to my GP, he copied in my IBD nurse and was like, this is what she's staying on for now. Let's just see how she goes. And then we're potentially going to discuss another treatment plan if this JAK inhibitor is not really doing anything. And if it's only the azathioprine, then it's like, well, if it's not doing anything, you know, it's a lot of money to be having baricitinib. So anyway, we're basically just going to be looking into different options next year. But I don't really want to risk too much of a change before the wedding, if I'm completely honest. I'd rather us explore it after the wedding, which is October. And then I'm less worried about what I look like because I would have already had my lovely wedding photos. So I know that sounds so vain, but this is important for me. I want to look back on my wedding photos and be like, yes, I looked the best I could look. I felt the best I could feel. And, you know, if my skin is flaring, I know I will not feel good on my wedding day. So yes, I'm being a bit bridezilla about it, but tough. I'm allowed. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are now. Like I say, it's still dry, it's still red, but it doesn't hurt anymore. It's just like, I don't want to say grainy, that's not really the word. It's very textured. Like I can feel it's very textured around here, but it like I say, it doesn't hurt anymore, which is a very big win. And I don't see it, you know, in a day-to-day. It's only if I'm like picking up the camera or taking a selfie or like glancing in the mirror or obviously getting ready. But in my general day, I don't see myself, so I don't really mind. And Rich doesn't care. He's seen me at my very, very worst. So to him, I'm stunning right now. So yeah, it doesn't really matter from a aesthetic perspective, like on a day-to-day basis. But like I say, things like my wedding and stuff, I want to be my best. So I'm just gonna do whatever I can to make sure that I look and feel my best. And then after that, that's when we can maybe explore different options. So all my laundry is done. I've just got to put some other bits and bobs away. And then I'm going to chill out with a nice cup of tea. No biscuit, but it's fine because I'll have my Ferrero Rocher later. And maybe do some artwork. I do have to wrap up some presents. I've pretty much bought for everyone we need to. I think there's like 2 more people that I need to get stuff for, but I think we know what we're going to get them anyway, so it's not going to be too tricky. And most of it is probably going to be like, I don't want to say an Amazon special, but in terms of fast delivery, I have Prime. So, you know, I think the things that we're going to get for these final 2 people are Prime-able. But yeah, that's kind of my evening planned. I did see on the news that the guy that plays Captain Holt in Brooklyn Nine-Nine has died. We've been watching it again recently, so it'll be really weird to watch it this evening and know that today he passed away. But yeah, very, very sad. But yeah, we'll chill out in front of the TV. And then tomorrow I've got my run. My foot, again, if you've not been following me on Instagram, I had like a little verrucary callousy thing. And I went to go and see a podiatrist on Monday. and he took off the callus and it's like brand new baby skin. And then the verruca thing is, I've had that for years, and every time I saw someone they said, oh, it's your Crohn's, or just means that you're just always going to have it. And I was just like, this is rubbish, this can't be the thing. So I went to see this guy and he's frozen it one time, and then again on Monday he froze it again, and it does look like it's starting to go, but everything else I've tried just doesn't work. So I'm quite hopeful that this is actually going to finally get rid of it, but it stung so bad, like it really, really hurt. It was only for like 24 hours, 48 hours this time. The last time it did take like a few days before it stopped hurting, but like the first day it really throbbed, and then by the second and third days it's kind of eased off, and now I can just completely fine. So I'm going to go for my run tomorrow, which is week 4, day 3, and I'm nervous because it's really hard at the minute, but I know I can do it. I did day 1 and day 2. I can do day 3. I've got this. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. It's probably going to be grotty, but I want to keep at it. I'm really actually enjoying it, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to sign the vlog off now. Thank you for hanging with me today, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.